Everyone says Silicon Valley is the startup capital of the world. At the same time, a lot of people say India is the fastest growing startup ecosystem in the world. Which one's better? I've had the good honor and opportunity to build a startup here in India, but then be able to expand Oyo, which is what we started in India, and then also buy Motel 6 as a brand and expand in the United States. My learning has been both ecosystems are extremely different, but also powerful in their own unique ways. Today, we're going to talk about a few of those topics. The first is capital raising. Whenever you set up a new business, especially in the world of startups which use technology, you want to scale, you want to get big impact. In order to get big impact, capital resources play a big role in your long-term success. In the United States, raising capital is almost like a line in the factory. Seed round is $500,000, Series A is 2 or 3 million, Series B is 10 million, and different perspectives like those. Now, some of these numbers may have, of course, expanded over the years, but this is sort of the high-level similarity. That is, you have a reasonably well understood marketplace. If you go to different websites like Y Combinators or the Founders Fund, you'll actually find standard term sheets, how deals are underwritten, what multiples of average revenue run rate, which is ARR, in which you get the valuation. So it's a pretty understood ecosystem. And hence people are almost always investing in the future concept of your idea. On the other hand, in India, it's a little scrappy. You could raise, like me, I raised my first round of $15,000 for a valuation of $120,000. Or you could be in a completely different shape where you could raise a seed round of $25 million if you come with significant more experience, history, and credibility. For example, some companies in India have raised seed rounds of $20 to $50 million. So it could differ very significantly, largely because it's still a new ecosystem that's getting developed, but it's growing so quickly that I believe will very quickly start matching the scale and depth of the United States markets. So in simplicity, the United States markets or the United States capital raise ecosystem is on the future belief of your idea, with of course yourself as an entrepreneur. In India, the entrepreneur makes a huge difference, but there is a higher expectation of proof point before the capital raise is done. There's nothing right or wrong, just different ecosystems, and whichever format or market you're operating in, just appreciate and respect that format. Let's now talk about talent. Talent is a very important topic. In the US ecosystems, my learning has been there is specialized talent with history that you have available at all times. One of our friends set up Pocket.ly and expanded that into the US. They were able to identify the exact talent, whether it is in engineering, to get the first few million users, what's the talent required, to get the 20 to 30 million users, what's the talent required, at all periods of time. So you're able to get specialized proven talent at scale. India, on the other hand, the hunger as well as the work ethic is unparalleled in comparison to any other place in the world. It is not a surprise that the best CEOs, even in the United States, are people who have grown up with the Indian value systems, gone to Indian universities, or even United States University. So on one side, American talent provides great amount of specialization and Indian talent brings great general managerial skill sets. It's important to make sure that you over-invest in what you're missing, which means if you're building your business in India, you start investing early in training more specialized talent. And similarly, if you're building a business in the US, you forward invest in general managerial talent. But that said, there is no one size fits all. You find talent of all types. I just tried to explain what do you find more versus less between the two startup ecosystems. The market dynamics. The United States markets have been unique in the respect that there is infrastructure for everything. You want to deliver your stuff to every town in the United States, there is a service for that. You want to make sure that you can get your insurances filed, there is a service for that. You want to find a management company for your hotel, there is a service for that. So you have infrastructure built for almost all kinds of businesses, largely because the United States is the largest economy in the world, tens of trillions of dollars of economy, and hundreds of years of history behind it. So that brings exceptional amount of infrastructure. With such infrastructure, the expectation is of specialization. That is, you deliver high quality of convenience and get paid for it. On the other hand, in India, we are building the infrastructure. I always say that in India, it's a gold rush for entrepreneurs and startups because we're a young country. We're a 70-year-old country. And at the same time, we have exceptional amount of young talent who wants to solve thousands of problems like yesterday. The entire startup startup ecosystem in India has been built in the last 10 to 15 years. It did not exist before that. And in these 10 to 15 years, we've come such a long way. Hundreds of billions of dollars of market capitalization has been achieved. So that reminds us that India brings the unique benefit of being able to move fast, but at the same time, while you move fast, you have to be prepared to build the full infrastructure. For example, we don't manage hotels in the United States, but we do manage hotels in India because there are not as many trustworthy, predictable hotel management companies we can find here. Vis-a-vis in the US, you can find so many of them. So fundamentally, infrastructure availability makes US far more focused on frontier technologies. India, on the other hand, having lesser infrastructure allows us to create new enterprises with the infrastructure bottoms up. Both, like I started in this session, both are unique but powerful in their own different way. Like I mentioned earlier, it's not like one is better than the other. Both are equally valuable, and I have always believed that there is synergies and opportunities to learn from everywhere. I always say that the absolute combination is bringing the Indian hunger and work ethic combined with the Silicon Valley playbook. That's exactly what we did here at OYO and Motel 6, which has allowed us to build significant amount of scale with healthy impact over the years.